2025 exposed something disturbing, and everyone is ignoring it. Even those who discerned it have been programmed not to fight it. You see, the world has gotten very good at keeping you comfortable, distracted, and just satisfied enough that you won't change. Every app, every algorithm, every easy dopamine hit, it's all designed to keep you small and stagnated. And it's working. We both know that in 2025, distractions multiplied, attention became currency, and most men traded their focus for dopamine hits they'll never remember. The world got louder, faster, more chaotic, more unpredictable, and it seems the year exhausted you the moment you attempted to rise above it all. I've got bad news, warrior. 2026 isn't going to slow down. The noise will get louder, the temptations will get stronger, the excuses will get easier, which means you have two choices. Let the tidal wave drown you, or build yourself into an unmovable rock. This isn't about New Year's resolutions. This is about a complete recalibration. That is why today I am giving you 7 stoic resets that will transform you from whoever you were into who you're capable of becoming. And that 7th one, it's the reset most men will never make because it requires confronting the one thing they've been running from. If you're ready to take 2026 seriously, smash that like button right now with intention. And if you're watching from the US, drop a comment. I want to know where this wisdom is landing tonight. Let us begin. Reset number 1. Reclaim your attention before it gets weaponized against you. The Stoics understood something we're only now rediscovering. What you focus on shapes who you become. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. Not your circumstances, not your resources, your thoughts. And your thoughts are shaped by where you direct your attention. Here's the brutal truth. If you're not controlling your attention, someone else is. Tech companies employ thousands of engineers whose only job is to hijack your focus. They study your brain chemistry, exploit your dopamine receptors, and profit from your distraction. You think you're just checking Instagram real quick. They know you're about to lose an hour. Epictetus taught his students to distinguish between what's within their control and what isn't. You can't control what the algorithms serve you, but you can absolutely control when you open that app. You can control the first hour of your morning. You can control whether your phone sleeps in another room. Starting 2026, treat your attention like the most valuable asset you own, because it is. No social media before 9 a.m. No notifications from apps that don't serve your goals. No mindless scrolling disguised as staying informed. If it's not building you, it's breaking you. The men who win in 2026 won't be the smartest or the most talented. They'll be the ones who can control their focus. Master your attention, and you master your future. Reset number 2. Stop prioritizing comfort. Comfort is a trap dressed as a reward. We've built entire lives around avoiding discomfort. Climate control, same morning routine, predictable weekends, jobs we tolerate because they're not that bad. And somewhere in all that comfort, we stopped growing. The Stoics didn't just talk about hardship, they practiced it intentionally. Seneca would sleep on hard floors and eat simple food, not because he was poor, but to remind himself that discomfort wouldn't destroy him. He was training his mind to be unshaken by circumstance. Here's what 2025 showed us. The comfort zone is expanding and it's suffocating. You can get everything delivered. You can work from your couch. You can avoid every difficult conversation with a text. And with each convenience, you're trading capability for comfort. 2026 demands a different approach. Marcus Aurelius said the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Every challenge you're avoiding right now, that's not blocking your growth. That is your growth. This means deliberately choosing the harder path. Cold showers not because you enjoy suffering, but because you're training your mind to override your body's resistance. Having difficult conversations in person instead of hiding behind screens, lifting heavier than last week, reading books that challenge your worldview instead of content that confirms it. Aristotle understood that excellence comes from habit, not intention. You don't build a strong character by talking about hard things. You build it by doing hard things repeatedly until they reshape who you are. So here's your reset. Identify the most uncomfortable action in each area of your life and do it weekly. That career conversation you're avoiding, that workout that makes you want to quit, that creative project that terrifies you because you might fail. Run toward it. Because on the other side of voluntary discomfort is the man you're trying to become. That's 2 down. This next reset is one that'll burn the old version of you to ashes and make 2026 your year of reckoning. Reset number 3. Build systems that defend your future self. You know what destroyed more potential than any external obstacle in 2025? Poor decisions made by tired, distracted, emotionally reactive versions of ourselves. We made promises in the morning and we broke them by evening. We set goals in January but forgot by March. We knew what we needed to do, but did what felt easy instead. The Stoics understood something profound. Willpower is finite, but systems are infinite. Marcus Aurelius didn't rely on motivation to rule Rome. He built structures and routines that made the right choices automatic. He knew that when the moment of decision arrives, your emotional state will betray you. So don't rely on the moment. Build the system. Epictetus taught that we should focus on what's within our control, and you know what's always within your control. The environment you create, the systems you design, the default settings you establish. Think about it. Why do you scroll before bed? Not because you consciously want to waste an hour, but because your phone is on your nightstand and checking it has become automatic. Why do you skip the gym? Not because you're lazy, because you didn't lay out your gym clothes and you have to make 15 decisions before you can start. Every decision is a drain on your mental energy, and by the end of the day, when you're tired and worn down, you'll always choose the path of least resistance. That's not a character flaw, that's human nature. So stop fighting your nature. Design boundaries around it. Put your phone in another room so you can focus. Meal prep on Sunday so healthy eating isn't a decision, it's the default. Set automatic transfers so saving money happens whether you remember or not. Schedule your deep work during your peak hours and protect that time like your life depends on it, because your future does. Seneca warned that we're not given a short life. We make it short by wasting it. Systems are how you stop the waste. Systems ensure that even on your worst days, you're still moving forward. 2026 won't be won by motivation, it'll be won by systems that make the right choices inevitable. Reset number 4. Starve your ego. Here's a pattern you've probably noticed. The loudest people online are usually the least accomplished in reality. They're performing success, not building it. And 2025 rewarded this. The algorithm loves confidence even when it's fake. The Stoics had a completely different relationship with their achievements. Marcus Aurelius was literally the most powerful man in the world, and his private writings are filled with reminders not to get carried away with status. He understood that ego is the enemy of growth. The moment you believe you've arrived, you stop climbing. Epictetus was even more direct. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Stop telling people who you're going to become. Stop posting about the work before you've done it. The need for validation is a distraction masquerading as motivation. Here's what most men get wrong. They confuse ego with confidence. Ego says, I'm already great. Confidence says, I'm capable of becoming great. Ego needs external validation. Confidence builds internal standards and measures against them. In 2026, your mission isn't to convince anyone of your worth. It's to build something undeniable, not for applause, not for likes, for the integrity of the work itself. This means raising your standards higher than anyone else expects. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Translation: your standards are probably too low because you're afraid of failing to meet high ones. But here's the truth. You'll rise or fall to the level of your standards, not your goals. Stop celebrating potential. Stop bragging about plans. Stop fishing for validation from the internet. Instead, execute in silence and let your results do the talking. That's not modesty, that's strategy. The men who dominate 2026 won't be the ones shouting the loudest. They'll be the ones building in private, learning constantly, and measuring themselves against yesterday's version, not against the highlight reels of strangers online. You're past halfway, and if you're still here, that tells me you're serious about this. Comment "Reset" right now. The next lesson will make everything else I've mentioned possible. Reset number 5. Master your internal weather. You know what controlled you last year more than you'd like to admit? Your emotions. A bad comment ruined your morning. A rejection derailed your week. Someone's opinion changed how you saw yourself. You gave your emotional state the power to dictate your actions, and it destroyed your consistency. The Stoics weren't emotionless robots. That's the biggest misconception. They felt everything. The difference? They refused to be controlled by what they felt. Marcus Aurelius faced plague, war, betrayal, and the death of children. His response? You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find unshakable strength. This is the skill that separates men who build legacies from men who stay stuck. Emotional resilience. The ability to feel anger, disappointment, fear, or frustration, and still choose your response instead of reacting from those emotions. Here's how most men operate. Something triggers them. Emotion floods their system, and they react immediately. That reaction creates a consequence, and then they spend weeks dealing with fallout from a decision made in 30 seconds of emotional hijacking. Seneca called this living as a slave to your passions, and he was right. If your emotions dictate your behavior, you're not free. You're being controlled by circumstances, other people's words, and your own unexamined triggers. The Stoic practice is simple, but not easy. Create space between stimulus and response. Something happens. You feel something. But before you act, you pause. You observe the emotion without becoming it. You ask, is this response aligned with who I'm trying to become? Or is it just my wounded ego reacting? This isn't suppression. This is mastery. You will feel it, but it won't control you. In 2026, practice the pause. When someone disrespects you, feel the anger, but don't text back immediately. When you face a setback, acknowledge the frustration, but don't spiral into self-pity. When anxiety about the future creeps in, notice it, but don't let it paralyze your present action. Master your internal weather, and you become unshakable. Reset number 6. Guard your circle. Like your life depends on it, because it does. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Are the 5 people you spend the most time with building you up or holding you back? Be honest, because 2025 showed us that proximity shapes destiny. The people around you set the ceiling for your growth, your standards, and your possibilities. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius, despite being emperor, carefully chose his advisors and confidants. He knew that surrounding himself with mediocrity, complaint, and small thinking would corrupt even the strongest mind. Seneca went further. He actively avoided people who would drag him into pettiness, gossip, and distraction. Here's what most men miss. You're not just influenced by your friends' opinions. You're influenced by their energy, their standards, their daily habits, and their unspoken beliefs about what's possible. If everyone around you is comfortable being average, your subconscious absorbs that average is acceptable. In 2026, you need to become ruthlessly selective about who gets access to your time, energy, and mental space. This isn't pride. It means respecting yourself enough to protect your environment. Ask yourself, does this person challenge me to grow or enable me to stay comfortable? Do they celebrate my wins genuinely or subtly undermine them? Are they building something or just talking about building something? Do they take responsibility or blame circumstances for everything? Here's your reset. Audit your relationships in 3 categories. Energy givers, people who inspire, challenge, and elevate you. Keep these close. Energy neutral, people who are fine but don't move you forward. Limit these. Energy vampires, people who drain, distract, or drag you into their chaos. Distance yourself immediately, and this is critical. Don't just remove the wrong people. Actively seek the right ones. Find people who are further ahead than you and humble enough to learn from them. Join communities built around growth, not comfort. Spend money on masterminds or coaching if necessary. Your network isn't just social, it's strategic. Epictetus said that if you don't wish to be hot-tempered, don't feed the habit. The same principle applies to your circle. If you don't wish to be mediocre, don't feed that habit by surrounding yourself with people who've accepted mediocrity. 2026 is the year you stop being loyal to people who are choking your growth. Reset number 7. Confront the man in the mirror and stop running from the truth. Here's the reset most men will never make. Radical self-honesty. We've spent years constructing elaborate stories about who we are, why we're not further ahead, and what's been holding us back. We blame circumstances, timing, other people, the economy, our upbringing, and beneath all those stories, we're running from a truth we don't want to face. The Stoics built their entire philosophy on this foundation. Know thyself. Not the version of yourself you present to the world. Not the idealized version you wish existed. The actual you. The one who shows up when no one's watching. The one who makes excuses. The one who quits when it gets hard. The one who knows exactly what needs to be done, but chooses comfort instead. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily through written reflection. He wasn't journaling about his feelings. He was holding himself accountable. Where did I fall short today? What did I avoid? What truth am I still refusing to face? This wasn't self-criticism. This was self-examination, and it's the most powerful practice you can adopt. Here's what 2026 requires. Brutal inventory, not the Instagram version of your life. The actual scorecard, your bank account, your relationships, your body, your skills, your habits, your word. Are you becoming who you said you'd become, or are you the same person, but with a better story about why you're not? This is hard. Most men can't do it because seeing the gap between who they are and who they could be creates unbearable tension, so they avoid the mirror entirely. They stay busy, they blame external factors, they rationalize. But here's the paradox. Epictetus understood. The moment you stop lying to yourself is the moment you start changing. You can't fix what you won't acknowledge. You can't grow from a position of delusion. So here's your final reset. Weekly truth sessions. No distractions, no phone. Just you and a notebook. Ask these questions and write honest answers. What did I say I'd do this week that I didn't do? What am I avoiding and why? What truth about my life am I still refusing to face? If I keep my current habits for 5 years, where will I be? And will I be okay with that? This won't feel good. It's not supposed to, but this discomfort is the price of transformation. And compared to the pain of staying stuck, it's nothing. The men who reinvent themselves in 2026 won't be the ones with the best strategies or the most resources. They'll be the ones willing to look in the mirror and tell themselves the truth. Everything else builds from there. You've got 7 resets, 7 strategies to completely reconstruct who you are before 2026 fully unravels. And here's what the Stoics would tell you if they were sitting right across from you right now. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. At this very moment, choose one reset and implement it today, not tomorrow. Today. Because here's the truth about transformation. It doesn't happen in the decision. It happens in the follow-through. Every man watching this will nod along. Most will feel inspired for about 20 minutes. A few will actually change something, and an even smaller number will sustain that change long enough for it to reshape their destiny. Which one are you? 2026 is here whether you're ready or not. The distractions will intensify. The noise will get louder. The world will keep moving faster. And you'll either master yourself and thrive in the chaos, or you'll get swept away with everyone else who thought intention was enough. The choice is yours, but the window is closing. If these lessons lit a fire in you, smash that like button so more men can find this before it's too late. Subscribe to the 20-Minute Stoic for daily wisdom that actually works in the real world. And drop a comment telling me which reset you're implementing first. I read every single one, and I want to know what you're committing to. Remember, 2026 doesn't care about your potential. It will only reward your preparation. So get to work. The man you're capable of becoming is waiting on the other side of these resets, and so am I.